gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real.
Welcome back to Whole Views, everybody. In the middle of a movie drought, I do have a movie review for you. One that I was slightly anticipating, called The High Note. The High Note is directed by Nisha Ganatra, starring Dakota Johnson, and also somebody I was excited to see, Tracee Ellis Ross, as well as Ice Cube. This movie is probably like a 6 out of 10 for me, and the reason why it's 6 out of 10 and not 7 or 8 or just a little bit higher is probably because of the music, but it has not much to do with the movie itself. There was only one big point that I would take off for the movie for, and we'll get to that later. My background is in music. I used to rap for, I rapped for about 15 years of my life, producing albums and EPs and everything else. So for this movie to show the details of how a beat is made and how a producer kind of works with the artist on the song to make sure the notes are right and make sure that they're on beat and the song has a vibe that the producer wants, is huge. Like it shows people who don't know anything about the music industry the real nuts and bolts behind it, and I give it a lot of credit for that. I enjoyed seeing that from a person who used to do it constantly, and people just didn't understand the process. This is a great way to understand like the musical process to a certain extent, because with rap it's a little bit different from that. I enjoyed Dakota Johnson. She really did embody the intern kind of role of like, oh, I'm just an assistant, but I have these aspirations. I liked her performance. I enjoyed Tracee Ellis Ross, and when talking about performances, I feel like Ice Cube, the angry, annoyed Ice Cube, carries the front half of the movie to me, to a point where when I wasn't feeling the music part of the movie at all, the Ice Cube stuff kept me chuckling along through the first act of the movie, because then he gets kind of sparsely scattered throughout the rest of the film. When it comes to Tracee Ellis Ross, I find her to be, personally, just personal taste, I think she's really, really attractive. Even though she's an older woman, I think she's beautiful. I like the way she played her role. She did it well to me as like the annoyed celebrity who couldn't care less about this assistant that's always around. But at the same time, when she did open up and start to become a little bit more human towards her, it was very, very believable. And also, just looking at her age, and I guess I don't want to say sex appeal because there's nothing too inappropriate in this film, but like the way she carries herself throughout the film really embodies like that aging celebrity that's like, you could tell she's getting up there in age, but yet she still has some hits that people want to come out and see. But that part, that aging celebrity part, is kind of, it takes away from the movie for me, and let's get into what the takeaways, like the negatives, would be. This movie in particular, I think about with the advertisements and the talk about her on the radio and the mentioning of like her getting Spotify plays and streams, I feel like they made too much of a big deal out of her for her to be where she was in her career. Again, speaking from the perspective of a person who's done music, if you're that big of a celebrity where people are like huddling around you in the street, if you are that big of a celebrity where you still have billboards and your face on the side of buses and they talk about you on the regular radio, and again you get Spotify streams, like, you're relevant. A label to me does not seem like, just from my limited experience, it does not seem like a label would want to hesitate for you to put out an album. It seems like they would be more than willing to want to put out that album from a person that still has that level of visibility, if that makes any sense. So I found that to be disjointed, kind of weird. Talking about the music specifically, the Grace Davis music was very, very bad to me. I'm a person who likes R&B. I like different types. But man, I don't know who that music caters to. It wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't good. I don't know anybody who would like a lot of the music that was played in this movie, like the original Grace Davis music. There was a young man who, like, I forget the character's name, but he's kind of the love interest catalyst for her, the Dakota Johnson, becoming a producer. And he can sing very well, and the first single that he produced was something that I would actually listen to. Like, I liked it. But he did a Al Green cover in this movie, man, trash. I was offended for Al Green. It was bad. It was bad. Another negative for me that makes this movie kind of hard to believe is the idea that Dakota Johnson and Tracee Ellis Ross's characters did not have a moment within 3 years of her being the assistant. There was no moment for y'all to have a personal moment and for Dakota Johnson's character to pitch the idea of being a producer to you. Like there was no place for that in 3 years. I find that hard to believe, and it made it kind of weird when that moment finally came to me. Again, knowing a little bit of music, seeing a little bit of music stuff, I'm like, that don't sound and seem right at all. This really took the movie down a notch for me. Was a twist that they tried to do at the end. It's a relational twist. It has nothing to do with liking somebody else. It was just purely relational. Like this person knows this person who knows this person who knows this person. They kind of allude to it at one point, but then they don't do it. But later on, right at the end of the movie, they connect all the dots, and it's like, really? That's what y'all want to do with these characters? Y'all want to make everybody connected? I didn't like it. To me, it put a bad taste in my mouth because I was expecting it at one point, and then when they didn't do it, I was relieved. Only for them to come back and do the thing that I didn't want them to do, which was connect everybody. So, besides that, this movie is very watchable. We are at a point in quarantine or like the shutdown of production that I don't know what's coming next. So if you don't have anything else to watch, you can throw this on and you'll be fairly entertained. I think Annoyed Ice Cube is enough to watch the whole movie because you will laugh at Annoyed Ice Cube. Think 21 Jump Street, but just toned down, no cursing, and you'll get some laughs. I enjoyed it. At the end of this video, I'm just linking some other reviews, whether it's a cologne review, it's a headphone review, it might be an episode of Top 3. Click something, click the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook and you've watched this far, follow this page, please, for more movie, TV, and product reviews. Thanks.